Thanks everyone for taking the time to join us today. I'm Narayana Janga. I'm the chapter director and also for Austin, Texas. And I'm also the coaching coordinator. And with me, I have Praveen Goli, who is also a coaching coordinator, and then Mahati, who is the lead coach for mathematics. And we have a presentation for you today to give you an overview of our fall coaching program. And then we'll also show you how to register for the programs. I'm hoping most of you are new parents here, so you will walk away with a lot of information. And if you have been already with NSF and or NorthSouth, and if you're looking for some more information on new offerings, that is also great. If you have any questions, please put it in the question panel, and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. I will go through the first few slides, and then Mahati will walk you through the math and Vedic math programs, and then Praveen and I will take turns walking you through the rest of the programs. And then we will show you how to register and all that stuff. So hopefully we'll answer a lot of questions you have. So this is a message from our CEO, Dr. Balu Natarajan, about our coaching.
I'm Dr. Balu Natarajan, president of the NorthSouth Foundation. For over 30 years, our foundation has been rooted in the combination of the basic tenets of empathy, education, and excellence. Your child has an opportunity to be a part of that journey with our upcoming coaching season. Please take a look at our offerings that have been painstakingly put together by our head coaches, Narayana Janga and Praveen Goli. Good luck.
So first of all, for those of you who are new to NorthSouth, we want to give you a bigger understanding of what NorthSouth is about, how we are different from other coaching programs, and what we are really trying to accomplish with your children and the families here. We are all volunteers here, and we have been part of the NorthSouth journey, where we started going to NorthSouth because we really wanted our children to compete in the contest. And then as the years progressed, then we really learned about what this organization is about, and then we started volunteering, and then we started growing in the organization. And as you can see, we are running the coaching program now. So, and our journey continues, and then we're trying to attract more younger kids, younger families, and then hopefully in a few years, some of you can take over the roles that we have right now, and then keep the cycle going. So the main reason we started this program is empathy towards unprivileged children in India. And we started about 30 years ago, and things are a little bit different now, but not so much. There is still a lot of poverty everywhere, even in the US. But at that time, our focus was really, and Dr. Atmangaru, who started this foundation, he really wanted to help poor kids in India and give them some access, right, to the finances and all that, so they can pay for their college and all that stuff. So that's how we started, and that is really still the main goal for our organization, to take care of those kids that are back in India not having access to education because of the financial issues. And the other part of that is then we have to keep this sustained, right? 30 years we are able to sustain this model. By how did we sustain this model? Thanks to very generous parents like you and our donors. We are able to collect enough money to give back to the people in India. We give over 2,500, 2,600 scholarships every year to the people in India that they can use toward their higher education. And it's all possible because thanks to the parents like you and the children that participate in our contests and all the volunteers that we get to make all this happen. And we are just not doing this as an act. By that, what we mean is that this is not a one-time thing, right? That, like I explained you, like I started with NorthSouth 2009, and I'm still with the organization. So it has become a habit for us. So we do this every year, and then we want the children and the parents also to get into this, like trying for excellence, to become a habit, not as an act. So we want to see the kids participate in the contest, come back, help the organization, and in the future contribute to other kids going through this journey.
I think a good example is we have Mahati on the call. She's one of the volunteers now. She started as, I don't know, how old were you, Mahati? Maybe 7 or 8 year old as a student participating in contests, and went through whole North-South learning journey, and then became a coach when she was in high school. Throughout her college, she was coaching for North-South, and now she's leading some of the programs at North-South. Right, so
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the whole journey. Sorry, go ahead, Mahati.
Yeah, no, of course. I have seen the journey firsthand. I know, many of you, your parents, and you're looking to put your children through this journey and through this experience. I started this journey when I was in first grade back in 2004. Started with the contest, then joined in one of the very first coaching classes. I was in the math coaching classes. Then I, as a high school student, wanted to give back to the organization, volunteered at the contest, volunteered as a coach, continued as a coach for 6 years, and then joined the leadership team just over a year ago. So it really is a full circle journey, and it's something that, in a few years, maybe I'll bring my kids back through this journey and see them go through the journey as well. So it really is a journey for parents as well as students.
Yeah, thanks, Mahati. Thanks, Praveen. So, what is our vision? That said, that we try to help the kids in India, but also we are also striving here to make every child reach their maximum potential by going through our coaching programs, contest programs, and then we really want them to be very good learners and then be best at what they do. And these are our beliefs. Like, we believe every child is a winner. Every child is unique, and they have special talents that are unique to themselves. So we believe that every child, there is nothing that any child cannot do if they put their minds to it and if they stay focused on it. We believe every child is capable of accomplishing anything, and then any ordinary child can do extraordinary things. And it is never too young or too old to learn. I mean, we keep saying children and students, but we do have programs where we actually are welcoming adults to come and learn and be part of this journey. So here is another example of a child who has gone through the NorthSouth journey. This Shreya Mogalotu put this slide. She's a 10th grader, and this is a wonderful slide. And a 10th grader capable of thinking this big and the bigger picture. This is really amazing. And this is what we want every child to become when they take this journey with us. And she's part of the NorthSouth family. She grew up with NorthSouth from grade 2. And then I think a couple of weeks ago, we were running this contest for kids to come up with what they thought NorthSouth was about. And this is what Shreya thought that we were about, which is really right on, right? So we start at the from the empathy to help the cause to help the poor people in India, poor kids in India. And then how are you helping that cause? By participating in our educational marathon, by participating in our contests and coming to our coaching, and enabling us to have that resource to take back to kids in India. And then yeah, now you can see that cycle going from education excellence, striving to make yourselves better, and then you come to our coaching, participate. That's part of your training, and then we have workshops that you can participate, and then it's feedback, right? And we are basically saying come back to this model and then help the other kids, like the parents and supporters, become part of that group. So very grateful to this child, like a 10th grader, capable of thinking all the stuff that we do. And also we believe that it takes a village to raise a child, and I think in India we all used to know, right, the three things, like Mata Deva Bhava, Pitra Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava. I am not sure that's so here we are saying, like, we are the fourth stool. You have the mother, you have the father, and then you have the teacher. But then the NorthSouth will become the fourth leg of the stool for your child to help them become empathetic, excellent, and successful in their education. And NorthSouth is really like, we can't stress this enough. It's volunteer and organization. We are nothing without the volunteers that run this organization. They donate a lot of time to this organization, and we are very, very thankful to them. So now we are getting into more of online coaching and what actually is our goal with the online coaching. We really have a vast variety of subjects. You can see about 13 offerings that we have for your kids and also adults to pick from. And it's a longitudinal commitment to preparation, right? It's a lot of breadth in what we offer. And also we encourage students to engage with the coaches and have any doubts and questions clarified, so they're learning by inquiry. And also the style is to coach, not teach. So kind of teach them how to fish, not bring the fish to them. And we have two offerings. The one that is starting is fall in October, and the registrations have started, and we'll go through that information. And then we also offered a summer term this fall, and then this year, and then we may do that again next year. That will go from July to August. It's a much short semester, so it will be much more compact and intensive. Fall is a little bit more relaxed because we can do for more weeks. And about this is like every year we have about 2,500 families across the United States participate in our coaching. We educate about 4,000 plus students with the help of 260 plus volunteer coaches who are donating time to the organization. And this is what we are offering this fall. And the classes will start on October 18th. The registrations without the late fee have a deadline of October 3rd. And then there is a 4 days window where you can still register, but there will be a late fee. This is because it takes a lot of time for us to set up these classes. 2 weeks may seem like a lot of time, and some of you may be questioning, why do we need the deadline so strict? Because we have to prepare the coaches, we have to get our systems ready, we have to set up the classes, and it's all volunteer work, so it takes a lot of time for us to do all that work. That's why we ask parents to try to register 2 weeks before the class is starting.
I think more importantly, many of the classes get filled up quickly. So the sooner you register, the better chance you have of getting the class a day and time of your that fits your schedule. So we do encourage people to register early because we do get a lot. I mean, I've been running this program for 12 years. We do get a lot of emails after the class is full. Oh, sorry, I missed the email or whatever the reason, but it's too late for us to change anything because once the classes are full, we won't have the ability to recruit new coaches. Sometimes we might be able to get an extra coach, but more often than not, we don't get additional coaches. So we want you to register if you're interested as soon as possible. Don't wait till the deadline because the classes, the most popular classes and the time slots get filled quickly.
Yeah, and then we have a link to the coaching catalog. So if you guys want, note it down. And this is just the screenshot from there. So you can see all our offerings, and there is a registration link there that you can click on to register for the classes. And Saldo, Praveen, I think the handouts are available, right, for the participants to download. There is a PDF that's uploaded to the handouts. If the participants can see it, you can click on it and download it. And that's the same as the slide deck you guys are seeing. So you will have all the information. Okay. Next slide.
One of the key messages from this slide is, right, I mean, these programs have been put together for years, right? Many of them have been running and evolving over the years. So the curriculum we have put together is pretty robust, and the material that we teach is definitely of much higher standard than what your kids would learn at school, and prepare them for being successful not only at school but also at competing in a lot of the competitions your kids might attend in. But the goal here primarily is for learning, not necessarily saying that, hey, you're going to win a competition, but the goal is to make sure your kid is learning as efficiently as possible and at his own pace, right? So whereas in a school, you may not have that much of a choice. Here at NorthSouth, you can, right? If a kid is, like, I can give an example. Last summer, we offered Python programming and Alexa programming. We had a third grader who actually did Alexa programming. it's amazing how much he has accomplished in that 8-week program and what he has learned. Right? We were able to admit him because he could demonstrate that he has the ability to learn with his programming skills he had learned outside of NorthSouth, and then he was prepared for the Python programming and Alexa programming.
Yeah, thanks, Praveen. And I think, yeah, there is an exception process if your kid is really very advanced, and you can reach out to coaching@northsouth.org, and then we will try to accommodate. And here is the holiday calendar. So usually we request the coaches not to conduct any classes on these weeks, but sometimes if the students want a class and the coach is willing, they may be able to. But we just want you to be aware, like these dates, so the classes may not be there, so you can plan your vacations and things like that.
So each class, right? Each class is on a weekly basis. So let's say you register for a class on Monday at 8 p.m. and then every week you would have those classes on that Monday, except for the days where it's marked as a holiday. Like for example, 27 December would be a Christmas holiday, so you won't have class on Monday, right? And if you have that scheduled on a Wednesday, you have a class on Wednesday, then you'd follow that Wednesday schedule.
So Praveen, I think at this point I will hand it over to you and Mahati.
Sure.
And I'm on the road, so holler at me if you need me to answer any questions. I'm going to go on mute. Thank you.
Thanks, Narayana. So we'll go through now the different types of different programs we have. We'll start with what we call as the program called Universal Values. These are values that we strongly believe in. We think every child, no matter where they come from, not just India or anywhere, right? Every child should have these values. And these values are something that will take them a long way to have a very healthy I guess fruitful life, right? These are beliefs that help them lead a very good life, and something they have to practice every day. So what this program does is to guide them through these values. It's not that these values are not known to you as a parent, but making the kids go through and see their peers participate in a weekly basis, and they come back and report what they've found in their daily life as they're listening to these values and the importance of those values and how they need to practice, and come back and report were they able to do those practice, will they come across those situations where they may not have done. For example, eating habits, healthy food, right? So, hey, did I eat healthy throughout the day? Or did I miss things, right? And just reminding those things and making sure they're getting into good practice. That's the key goal of this. And we have different levels in there. What course, Universal Values 101, 201, and 301. So it goes through grade 1 through grade 8. Or higher, even higher, actually all the way to high school. And the level you are joining is not necessarily based on your grade themselves, like whether it's you join beginner, intermediate, advanced. We want you to go through that 101 to 201 to 301. Just because you're adult, you cannot go to 301 directly. We want you to go through those different value systems, because everybody needs to learn those things. And I do sometimes attend these classes myself, and I see a lot of value just attending those classes, hearing to the coaches guiding during the class. So I do highly encourage this for your child to attend it. It's not pure academic like a math or a science course, but something you'll see. Every child who has gone through this course will come back and parents report very good feedback. The next one, now we're going to some of the STEM courses. So first start with the science. The goal of this course is to create curiosity among the children. Learning science is not just like learning math and practicing formulas or remembering things. Well, you do remember certain things, but the goal is to create curiosity among the children so that they can go and do research by themselves, study, figure out, and observe, right? Most importantly, observe the natural behavior throughout their surroundings and ask questions on why something happens like that, right? That's really the goal, and that's the best way to learn science, and that's what we strongly believe at NorthSouth. And our goal of this program is to encourage that within the child. As part of that, of course, we do teach all the different topics associated with science. So we do teach the concept behind it, and we ask kids to do projects. At the end of the program, they are asked to present it. But the goal is to really create that curiosity and being able to think about it and ask questions. And we do have multiple levels in there, and it's for grades 1 through 8. And the next one in the science program is the Brain Bee. This follows the syllabus that's followed by the International Brain Bee contest, where the kids learn fundamentals of neuroscience and about brain itself, brain anatomy, functions, how they control different parts of your body and your thinking, right? Those are the different things that kids will learn. We have 2 levels in there, intermediate and senior. And if you're a first time, we encourage the child to attend the intermediate, register for intermediate. And if you have gone through the intermediate level, then you can register for the senior. Python programming is something we introduced about 4 years ago. And here we teach fundamentals of programming. You don't need to have prior programming experience. We start from basic knowledge of computers and programming and walk you through. By the end of the coaching program, you see people have done amazing projects, and we do encourage group projects within the student, among the students. So it's been a very highly sought after program within NorthSouth, and we are very happy to have volunteers who are very passionate about teaching programming to the kids. Like I said earlier, we had that 3rd grader going through Python programming and Alexa programming. Doesn't necessarily mean every child is going to be able to do that, but it's something we start with where you don't need to have prior programming experience. Mahati?
Yeah, so for the math program, it basically runs from 1st through 8th grade. We have our elementary math for 1st and 2nd graders, pre-math counts for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, and then math counts for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, with a focus on critical thinking and problem-solving skills. So kind of beyond what students are taught maybe in their regular school math classes. Homework is provided on a weekly basis, and then within each program, there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced, depending on the child's proficiency. And really, it's a variety of topics that are covered for all students. In the case of math counts, the preparation is certainly targeted and oriented towards math counts, AMCA, things like that. Pre-math counts, some of the lower level competitions like Math League and Continental Math League and so on. And so there's certainly a focus on problem solving and critical thinking skills, but it's certainly a fantastic program. And then the other math program that we offer is the Vedic Math program, which is a bit different from our general math coaching. It's a focus on the Vedic math principles with the goal to emphasize strong arithmetic skills, improve mental calculations, concentration, logical thinking processes, and proves to be very useful in the aptitude section of these competitive exams, but then even beyond, just as far as strong proficiency of being able to solve problems significantly faster. So that's a unique offering that we have within our class.
Right.
So we started spelling about 2 years ago, and then we were very fortunate when we started the program. We were able to recruit 27 coaches who were all top finishers in scripts, including 7 scripts champions. So we have very high demand for the spelling program, and some of the classes are already being filled up. So I encourage, if anybody is thinking about spelling coaching for your children, it's one of our goals is to keep the cost very low for the parents. So we charge about $200 for an 8-hour spelling bee class, and we teach end to end from how to start with the spelling bee journey, because it's not a one-year deal. The spelling bee requires preparation through multiple years. And we give a complete idea to parents, like how you can participate along with your children in this preparation for the spelling bee without having to get help from other places where it will cost you a lot more than what we are offering here. And the kids that are teaching these programs, thanks to these volunteers, like I said, we have script champions, we have regional champions, we have people that went to finals in the top 10, finished in top 10. Even Avani Joshi, she finished like top 3 or 2 this year, and then she's coaching for us. And we have other kids like that that are coming here and volunteering and helping other kids learn for a very low cost. So there are 2 levels for junior and senior. The junior level is going to be a little bit difficult for the kindergartners and the first graders, so we really recommend second graders and third graders. We're also working on a new offering, and hopefully by the next semester we will be able to offer it for kindergartners, first graders, and then we will encourage parents to attend along with their children so they can learn all the basics of the. So that class will be coming later on, but for now we have these junior and senior levels. Junior is a second grade, third grade, and we will take exceptional first graders as well. And then the senior is from 4th to 8th grade. And the class is limited to like 10 students each. So it's they get like very personal attention. They get quizzed. They get to do a mock bee. They will learn about all the spelling basics, etymology, diacritical marks, how to pronounce words properly, and they will learn about the language rules, roots, and advanced topics in the senior class. And then the instructors will work with students to create a sample study plan, like I was describing. And vocabulary also, we have a very limited set of coaches teaching vocabulary, and unfortunately the classes are already full. So maybe some of you, we are still trying to recruit coaches, and like I said, this is same as with spelling. We are only recruiting students that have finished like top 10 in scripts. That's why it's hard to recruit coaches, but whoever got into the classes, they are going to get like a quality coaching for a very low cost. And the goal for this class is to get students become acquainted with the etymology behind words, how the words are formed, what do they mean, and why do they mean, what do they mean. And vocabulary is not inherited. It doesn't come from the brain, it comes from learning. And it can be improved by methodical efforts, which we'll teach in this class. And it's just not about learning definitions of obscure words by rote memorization. It's really breaking up the words and understanding roots. And this kind of goes hand in hand with spelling. And if you are familiar with scripts, they are also including vocabulary as a in one of the rounds in semifinals and finals as well, I think. So this and spelling go hand in hand together if your goal is to prepare for scripts competitions and other competitions. Next slide. This is also, there is only one level we are offering now, because for scripts, I think the goal is 4th to 8th graders, and it will be a little bit hard for any kids less than that to understand these concepts. Okay, sorry. Yeah, next slide. I guess I will cover geography as well. This is the geography coaching class we have. This used to prepare the contestants for the National Geographic Geography Bee. But there is so much to learn from the Geography Bee. The National Geographic is not doing the bee anymore, but we still have a NorthSouth Geography Bee that we do. And there is an International Geography Olympiad that this prepares the students for as well. So this is really about learning about the physical systems, cultural clashes, evolution of human societies, modification of our environments, kind of learning about climate change and all these other things that could have a severe impact on how we live our lives and what happens to Earth and all that, and availability of distribution and resources to make it a better place for everybody. Yeah.
I mean, the reason for your kid to learn geography is not just to be able to compete in the contest, but having that wider exposure, understanding of the culture and regions would help them evolve into very good human beings, being appreciative of the diversity in humans, and we all live in a complex culture, right? Complex environment with different people from different regions and different habits, both food and culture and norms, right? So it's important to understand and appreciate the culture and habits and regions practices of the different parts of the world. And that's really the reason to learn geography. And I think it's I mean, when I initially looked at geography, I said, hey, it's just for contest, but having attended a few classes, and they see that it's much more than just learning what the longest river or where the capital is and all that. As part of your learning journey, you would start to appreciate the different aspects that a kid would learn.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Praveen. And also, when we say contest, it's really, I mean, this is really about, I don't know if you people followed the geography contest last year. It's really about, they had these sections called Geo Challenge, where they were really testing the kids of their understanding of the world, and then what if scenarios, like if this happens, what happens to our world, and then how do you actually restore it back to normal, right? So those kind of things, it's really gives
Narayana, you
them a
broke
mental
up.
map of the whole entire world, while establishing a great understanding of cause and effect, and eloquently explained. Yeah, sorry, Praveen, I'm still driving. So
Okay.
if you
All
can't
right.
hear me, you guys can continue if I'm still breaking up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. The other one we do offer is SAT coaching. This is one of the few programs we have for high schoolers. Most of the programs that we offer through coaching is to grades 1 through 8. This is one we do offer for high schoolers to prepare and prepare for exams like SAT or ACT in preparation for admissions to colleges. I know many of the colleges have become SAT optional, but SAT optional does not mean they don't look at SAT. If your child does do well in SAT, you do want to show that. You have to put yourself in the shoes of administrator and see what are the different criteria, how they're going to differentiate. And this is just under data point, right? There are some colleges which are not even going to look at it, but it's again, this is something we do offer. We have been offering it for the last 10 years. So it's a good program for people to join. We do offer 2 levels. One is at the junior level, which kind of prepares them for PSAT, which makes the student eligible for National Merit Scholarships, and then SAT, which is the one that counts for the college admissions.
Praveen, real quick, we're getting some questions about if 7th or 8th graders can register for SAT, ACT Senior. Can you real quick speak to that?
Sure. We prefer them to join the junior level because that is really what they're going to prepare them for the PSATs, and that's what they would be taking to get qualified for a National Merit Scholarship. Any exam you take for SAT is only valid for 3 years. So even if you're taking 7th and 8th grade, irrespective, even if you get 1600 out of 1600, that score is not going to be valid when you apply for colleges. So we do encourage you to take the junior level and make sure that you do extremely well so that you can be eligible for the National Merit Scholarships. And also there are some kids you go through, like younger kids like 6th and 7th, they do take this coaching program. Then they can go and show the scores they obtained from the PSAT, and that would qualify them for programs such as the Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth program, Duke University's TIP program, and Stanford has something similar. So those kind of programs want you to demonstrate what you have achieved in some of these tests, PSAT or similar tests. That's what would make you qualified for those talented youth programs. All right, this is one of the courses I truly, really feel proud of. And it's also for a couple of reasons. This is something every child and every adult. I think we all feel not as confident throughout our lives in sometimes. And this is a program that's originally created by a person named Vidhi Gosalkar. She has trained people, I guess, let's say Fortune 100 or Fortune 500, even CEOs go through her program. She goes to a lot of companies to train the executives there. And she has created a program to teach the kids to how to become confident, how to speak in public places, right? We all have our nervous feelings. And this is a program where she trains the kids, and then those kids, extremely talented, very successful kids from her program, she chooses them selectively, and those are the coaches we use to train the kids. And this is one of the, I mean, even I'm saying it myself, but I've seen consistent feedback throughout last 6 or 7 years we have been offering. Very high, very positive feedback from every student who has gone through this training. And there are many students who come back, even though they took it, they come back, even though it's a similar material, they come back because every coach provides a different nuance and how it reaffirms their confidence, builds their confidence. So I do highly encourage kids to register for this. And you would see yourself how your kids would transform by the end of it. Essay writing is something we started because of parent demand. This summer was the first time we offered. Right now we have only one level for this. This is more for the middle schoolers. It's an 8-week program. We kind of walk you through, it's like a workshop kind of environment where we walk through some concepts and then how to actually help you help your child write an essay, right? Whether it could be a school essay, college essay, it doesn't matter what it is. Being able to learn those writing skills, create a concept, and actually work through those, organize those ideas, and put it on paper in a coherent way. Public speaking, this is something we started about 2 years ago. Again, we all know what public speaking is. Many of your kids probably are participating at the school level debates and public speaking classes or after school clubs. So there's an opportunity for kids to learn public speaking skills from really accomplished coaches. Many of them are Toastmasters. So again, I think it's something, if you think your kid could make use of, go ahead and register. Again, this is again in high demand, so the classes do get filled up pretty quickly. All right, so that's about all the courses we are offering this semester. Something to just talk about who are the coaches who offer this, right? Many of them are parents who are committed volunteers for our NorthSouth, or who are committed about coaching and sharing their knowledge and expertise with the kids, right? Many of them have been coaching for NorthSouth for years. Some of them have their children go through it. And we also have high schoolers, very accomplished high schoolers who are either scripts champions, math counts champions, or in general high achievers who have demonstrated high skills. Or they've gone through the program just like Mahati, right? She's accomplished mathematician. Now she does work, and she went to Georgia Tech, and she's doing an excellent job in data analytics. So they've gone through the program, they've learned what it is, what it takes to be successful. And these are the kids who are going to come back and share how they learned, how they became so knowledgeable, and share their experience and share their expertise. Unlike many other organizations, these are all these are all volunteers. Nobody gets paid for it in this currently online coaching program. We do get requests from parents asking for one-on-one coaching. Currently, we don't offer that. That's something we're evaluating. But right now, these are all group classes. Most classes are depending on the subject. Like, for example, spelling is only 10 students. When you get to public speaking, it's 12 students. When you get to math and science, those are about maximum of 20 students in a class. Most classes average probably 10 students. So you do get a lot of time from the coaches, individual attention to make sure the kids are learning at the pace they need to. We do strive to make the fees less expensive. And then the other pieces, like our goal in starting this coaching program is to really help underprivileged kids, both it started in India, but now we're also providing donations and contributions to inner city kids here in US. For example, during COVID time last year, we donated over 1,000 Chromebooks to Title I kids who could not afford to do, did not have computers to do remote learning when the schools were shut down last year. This is again a program that's run by youth volunteers of NorthSouth called YCNS. That's something you may want to look into if you want to have your child volunteer and learn leadership skills. 2/3 of the fee that you pay is tax deductible on your taxes. It's considered as a donation, so it is tax deductible. And if we do encourage, if your company does, if your employer provides matching donations, so after you register, please do enter it in your company matching contribution site for the 2/3 of the fees you paid, so that NorthSouth get the matching donation from the company, and all that money would go towards the scholarships for the students. I'm going to quickly let you read through some testimonials. These are all testimonials we got from kids who went through NorthSouth coaching. These are all verbatim, what they have written. So I'm not going to kind of walk you through everything, but for example, the first kid, how he got like 36 out of 36 on ACT and 1590 out of 69 in SAT. The other kid saying that, hey, he has learned quite a lot from NorthSouth as a student and a competitor participating in those contests, and he wants to come back and help as a coach. So the whole idea is not just academics, build leadership skills for the students as they go through the whole NorthSouth cycle of learning. Again, a few more things you can read through in the PDF file. Okay. If you're interested, I can walk you through the simple registration step. It's pretty straightforward. So one of the places where you can go to is under the US activities. You can click on class catalog or coaching catalog. That gives you the list of courses available. So you can look at the different tabs and then the list of classes available, right? So you can pick the day and time, and if the seats available or not. If it's class is full, it will say full. Okay. And then if you want to register, please click on that register online button there. And it will take you to a login screen if you have not logged in as a parent. Once you log in, it will take you to this screen where you need to update the child information. If you are new to NorthSouth, you'll have to obviously create an account on NorthSouth as a parent. But once you create an account, you should be able to enter your child information. Or if you're already if a child information is there, every year we want the parents to update the child's grade level. So you need to update that. Once it's updated, that choose coaching details, that button would be active. That will let you go to the next screen. And on this screen is where you go and select your child, and then the product you're interested in, well, math, science, and then the level you're interested in. It will show the list of classes available. You select the class day and time that you want, and then you click on that add to cart button at the bottom, right? And then once you added all the different classes you want to register, then you can go to the review cart button. Okay. On the review cart button, you can see the classes you have added, and then you make sure it asks you to select that class, and timing level cannot be changed later. So once you register, the fees is not refundable, and also we do not want you to change. So think about your kids' schedules and your schedules before you register. Occasionally, we do allow some changes, especially in the first 2 weeks, but it's subject to availability of seats. Okay. So if there's seats available during the first 2 weeks, we do allow you to change the class. Let's say you register for a Monday class and suddenly your kid has decided to attend a soccer practice and that schedule is not going to fit in. So you may want to switch to a Tuesday class. So you'll be able to do that, change the coach and by yourself during the first 2 weeks when the program starts. Okay. And then click on the Pay Now button. Then this is the screen where if you want to have your child have their own login so that they can log in without using your credentials, you can create your student email address and password. And then they can use that to log in into the NorthSouth portal, and they can download the class coaching material, homework, and submit homework online. Okay. Again, it's optional. You can always do this later on, but it's kind of easy while you're registering. But if you don't want to do it now, you can just click continue at the bottom. And then it gets you to the screen to go through the terms and conditions. We do not allow any recording. We do not record the sessions ourselves, and we do not allow students to record the session. The goal is to make sure every student tries to attend the class, because you learn not from listening to a recording, but more from actually interacting with the coach and participating in the class. Okay, then once you click accept, it gets you the screen to, if you would like to donate for the causes that NorthSouth supports, you can select any of the amount you want, or if you don't want to donate it, click other and enter 0 in that box there. Then you can click continue. And then if you ever had a credit, then it'll come to the screen. Most of you will not have any credit. And then you can click continue there and gets you to the payment screen. Enter your credit card information, click submit for payment. Wait for a few seconds because it does take a little while to get the credit card registration processed. So don't be in a hurry and click submit for payment twice, because you might get charged twice, and it would be a lot of effort and cost to NorthSouth to reverse a charge. Okay, so please do not click multiple times. Be patient, and if you do run into an issue, do send us an email at coaching@northsouth.org, and we can help you with that. Okay. Okay, this is something we don't need to cover right now. This is just how you join the class. We use Zoom. You'll have a join meeting, but once you register, when the classes are ready to start, you'll see a join meeting button, and then you click on that, and you are into that class. Okay. I mean, nowadays everybody is pretty familiar with Zoom, so we don't need to really go through the Zoom instruction how to use it. All the coaching, the homework, everything would be available from the NorthSouth portal. And the coaches will communicate to you with the students and parents with the email address registered on the NorthSouth portal. Okay, so make sure you have the email address that you are using. All communication about the classes, when classes start, or any issue with coaching, everything would be sent to that email address. We do not send any links for the Zoom meeting or anything like that. Everything, you log into the NorthSouth portal and you join from there. All right. And that's it. Again, we do appreciate you joining this program today. Hopefully you got the information that you need to register. And I'm going to open up for questions.
I already listed my chat, the question in the chat box.
All right, can you repeat your question? Or Mahati, I don't know if you had a chance to look through the questions. Is there something we can answer first and then?
Yes, I have got the answer.
Yeah.
She has replied.
Okay, got the answer.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been going through the questions. I think I do see some questions around, some people have some difficulties registering. Email us at coaching@northsouth.org if you're having specific issues with the website. Some other coaches were asking, or some other parents were asking, is there a way that a small bio can be incorporated about each coach, or how do we know which coach to pick?
That's an excellent question. We had some coaches bio there. We are now collecting the bios of all the coaches. As Narayana was saying earlier on, it's a lot of effort that goes behind the scenes to organize a semester. Just to give an idea, we have every semester we have about close to 4,000 students and 250 coaches. So it's almost like a mini university, all run by volunteers. So you can imagine the amount of work the volunteers have to put through. So we are constantly trying to develop tools within our portal so that coaches become self-sufficient. So this year we are just started, I guess, testing the ability to put the coaches to enter their bio and being able to display. Unfortunately, it's not ready. By the time the registration, we are hoping to get it ready, but I'm not sure it will get there by the time the registrations close. So I do apologize. We don't have it. We were aiming to get it done, but we weren't able to. But there are some coaches bio that's already available there, but not all. In the future, you will see information about the coaches. So we do allow you to change a coach during the first 2 weeks of the class. So if for any reason, either because your schedule there was a conflict or you did not like the coach, subject to availability, we'll allow you to switch to another coach of the same subject. Mahati, are there any questions that you have not answered that would be useful to everybody?
Let's see. So looks like someone is a coach and they're asking, registered as a math coach, will I get a syllabus? Do I have to create my own? So you will be provided all of the material, syllabus and everything, as far as prep material. Some are asking, how do we decide on the level for a particular class? How do we decide on beginner, intermediate, or advanced for pre-math count, or within science and things like that?
That's a very good question. Like I said in the beginning, we do want the kids to learn at their own pace. So we let the parents choose the level. I know it's still a kind of a difficult to know, how do I know what level, right? On the math, we do have some assessment kind of tests on the math coaching page that you can take. What I would say is, in general, the coaching program at NorthSouth is at least a grade or two higher than what a kid is learning at their grade level in school. So every year, I mean, we all know, right? Our kids, most Indian kids have pretty strong in math, but so I do see parents saying that my kid is in an accelerated math program and they join them in a higher level, and a few weeks later they come back and say that, hey, it's too difficult, my kid is kind of having difficulty, can you switch them to a lower level? So what I generally encourage parents is to don't try to accelerate too far ahead. It's very important for the kids to have a solid foundation. Once they have a very solid foundation, you will see them flying through higher levels later on. So don't accelerate them at a younger age too fast. Make sure they have very solid foundation. And we are, even though we say we don't change coach, and if we really feel that the kid is either finding it too difficult, we do allow, if the kid is finding difficult, we would allow you to change to a lower level anytime. If the kid is finding it too easy, we try to make sure that kid, because first couple of classes are going to be a little easier, the concepts are going to be a little easier to ease the students in. We do ask them to wait a few weeks, but if they're still finding it too easy, we do on exception basis, we can change them to a higher level. On the science, One of the things I learned when we started the science program, the mentor for the science program, what he told me is, Praveen, I can use the same slide to teach a first grader to a PhD student. And what he meant by that is the amount of detail, what you learn is going to vary. And the goal is not just to impart the concepts, but to create that curiosity, right? Kids at different ages learn what it is, and they learn by asking questions. So that's the reason if you look at the grades we have, the levels we have a age group band for science, like first, second, and third are in the same junior science, fourth, fifth, and I think sixth or fourth and fifth are in intermediate, and sixth, seventh, and eighth is in the senior science. We try to group them in the bands, and I've seen quite often some parents do come back and register for the same course because the kid has learned a little bit more now and asking different set of questions based on as they continue to gain knowledge. So I mean, I know it's kind of looks like not a very straightforward, clear answer, but it is not a straightforward answer either, right? Because every kid learns at a different pace, and it's very difficult to assess what pace kid is going to learn. So I will let you decide, and then if you do feel that kid is finding it too difficult or too easy, we'll help you change the levels.
It looks like Anu Venugopal has her hand raised.
Okay, 1 second. Hey, Anu.
Hey, hi, good evening. I'm Anu. So I have questions regarding the math program and the spell bee program. So the math program, like, so is the class related to any other competition? Like there are various competition for elementary level, right? Olympiad, math, kangaroo. So do you guys specifically train them for that kind of competitions?
So the focus on most of our programs is to help the kids learn, right? Having said that, kids who learn, they're going to do well in those competitions. We don't directly take the competition, except for the math counts in the 6-7 MB3 level, where we do take a lot of the problems from the math counts competition itself, but we do teach the concepts. And then because they're practicing, they're solving the problems of the math counts exam competition, they do well in those. But at the lower levels, the focus is on teaching.
Sorry, your voice was breaking. So
word-oriented problems. Yeah. Sorry.
No, actually your voice was breaking. So I didn't understand. So did you say you will train the kids for the math kangaroo and Olympiad? So your syllabus?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. I said we teach the concepts and they learn the concept, and they do problems which could be similar to what they might come across in math kangaroo or math other competitions, but we don't directly necessarily take those competition papers and solve them.
Okay.
Except for the MB3 level, where we do take problems from the math counts, but we do focus more on the concepts, but as practice problems, take from math counts.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so and I have a question for Spellbee also. So as you said, like math, we have assessment in the website. So how about Spellbee? Like I saw there are junior level and senior level. So if my kid is in third grade, so how do I decide like whether she will fit into the junior level or senior level?
Yeah, so Praveen, I can take it.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of ways to go about it. We did do assessment test before, but what happened was even after doing well, or some kids really did not do well, but they were okay. The first year we offered, we had only one level. We didn't have the junior level, and we took all the exceptional third graders into the same level. And then we realized, and then we had an assessment test to make sure that the third graders were ready. And most of them did not do well, but they did okay in the class. So what I would recommend is, if you think your kid is really ready, send us an email with your phone number. We will have to talk to the child personally and then make sure that they will be ready for the you can look at the syllabus kind of things they're learning there, and that should also give you an idea. It's going to be a lot more focused on the foreign languages and all that in the senior class, and they will go through the root, and they have to understand the concept of root families, like how the roots transform from one language to another language, which may become difficult for the third graders. But if they're already doing it and they have all that knowledge, then you can do an assessment and
Yeah.
help you make that decision.
Yeah, that would be good. Maybe I'll just send out a mail for assessment. So in that case, as you said, the spelling bee is filling out fast. So how do I hold my seat? I can book like junior or senior, and I can switch accordingly based on the assessment.
Yeah, no, that's not possible at this time. But if you send us an email, I will get in touch with you. Right, today and tomorrow we can get connected and then figure out.
Yeah, maybe I'll send my email in the chat, the question section.
No, can you send an email to coaching@northsouth.org?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send my email there. Yeah. And one more thing, like I checked with the school, and the school is not offering the spell bee competition. So will the North South give any platform for the kids to participate in the spell bee competitions? Will you provide any contacts for any competitions happening around or others?
Yeah, we cannot do that, unfortunately. I think the matter of school conducting the spelling bee, have you tried talking to your, I'm sorry, Praveen, if I'm taking up time for all the,
No,
I mean,
go
we
ahead.
can talk offline, but
Yeah,
usually it's
actually,
a
I was
matter of,
trying the contact number. I didn't find any number. So that's why I thought,
no,
okay,
no,
I'll
no,
connect with the webinar.
no, you have to talk to your PT and school administrators. It's just a matter of paying like a couple of $100 or maybe even less to the scripts from the school, and then they will let them hold the bee. You have to find out why your school is not holding the bees, because they're not willing to pay the fees, or if they don't have a team to put together the spelling bee.
Okay. So I have to talk to the school team and make them pay for it. But actually, is that like the third graders are not eligible for national, because my kid was going to another school and they said only from 5th grade they're eligible. So is that great?
Yeah, it really depends on the school. It really depends on the school. We know like first graders that went to Scripps semifinals, and they qualified for the nationals, right? Because their region allowed them to participate. So it really depends on what is going on in your area and with the school. I'm sorry, there is no single answer for it. It really depends.
Yeah, this by itself does not limit it. It's up to the school district what they want to limit it. From a competition perspective, other contests, but when NorthSouth itself conducts contests both at the regional level and at the national finals.
Oh, so you conduct competitions. Good to know that.
Yeah, please send us an email. There is a lot of information we can give you. There are other ways to get in, and I can explain you like all the
that will be great. I'll send the mail. So till then I can hold my registration, right? After talking to you, maybe I can decide which one I want to put.
That we cannot guarantee. We don't have a
that's what I'm seeing. The classes are filling out. So that's what I'm asking. So tonight I can book one class and I can wait for the assessment. So that can I switch it? So it's not possible.
Yeah, we can switch it given that the times work for you, and then there is space in the other classes, right? And yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Any other questions? Anybody else has questions? I don't see any other raised hands. Madhi, did we answer everything on the question panel?
This is Anastasia. I just had a question.
Go ahead.
For the Python programming class, is there any specific OS requirement?
No, there isn't.
Okay.
Everything is learned through a web portal, and you don't need to install any software on your computer.
Okay, thank you.
So I see there's a question on is the syllabus and notes for classes. They're all posted on the coaching program website. You'll see for each of the subjects, there's a separate link under the US activities and coaching program. You should be able to read about the program.
there is a question somebody asking, what do we mean by the NorthSouth portal? We really mean by that, that going to northsouth.org and logging into your volunteer or student account.
Right. If you just need to know about the coaching program itself, you can just go to northsouth.org, and on the left side, you'll see a US activities. Under that, you'll see a link for coaching. And if you do want to register, obviously you need to have an account. And then on the right side, you would see a US login. Under that, you'll have ability to log in as a parent. And if you click that parent, if you don't have an account, it will ask you to create an account. So what time are the classes usually for the US students? Again, the class catalog under that US activities gives you the list. Most of the classes are intended, all the classes are intended for US times, but obviously we have 3 different time zones. So you can pick and choose a class based on availability and based on your time zone. On weekdays, typically they're in the evening. On weekends, it could be anywhere from the morning all the way to the evening. And the duration of the class varies by the program. So in that coaching overview slide or overview page on the website, we'll give you the duration. For example, science, math are 2 hours, SAT is 1.5 hours, public speaking is 1 hour, spelling is 1 hour. So it kind of varies, right? So just make sure you go to that page. You'll have a complete list of courses, eligibility, duration of the class, and the fees. Will kids get material during classes? They do get. We don't teach we distribute the class teaching material itself, but they do get homework and student handouts. You said I do not see Kalyani era profile. Could you please give me a brief profile details? Unfortunately, like we already answered that. Right now we don't have those profiles, but Kalyani era has been a coach for a while. I don't know if the class still has seats available. I'm on the coaching tab, click on register for coaching. It takes me to student info page and then child summary page. Where do I look to search for programs for my child? Okay, you have a couple of different options. Like I was showing you, you can click the child and then click on the coaching details. So there you can select the program you're interested in. It will show you the list of classes available. Or you can go to the public page under US activities and then coaching catalog. You can see all the list of classes. So there are 2 different ways you can get the list of classes. Do you provide coaching for any other program language other than Python? Currently, we are only offering Python. Can we get credits for future in the case if we have to cancel the class for some reason? Unfortunately not. Like we said, it's run by volunteers and we want the students who are committed to attend the classes. We don't repeat a class. If you miss a class, unfortunately, we don't record it and we don't, you don't have an option. I mean, so we try to make sure. Occasionally, you might have a missed class due to an emergency. We will see if we can register to a different class, but since every class follows their own schedule, as you saw from the holiday schedule and coach's schedule, they might be off, so there may not be any other coach teaching that week's material if you miss something. So we do encourage you to attend every class. How much homework is every day? A couple of times a week. The classes are weekly, so weekly once you'll get a homework. Sunil, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I'm asking if there is any chance to have save credits for the whole session, not just single class. If for some reason, if I have to cancel the class before the beginning of the classes. Right now, I registered for a class and I'm not pretty sure if we have a conflict, and if we, for some reason, if there's a conflict, I have to, forfeit the class. I'm wondering if we can save some credits for the future.
You broke up there, but I think I got that question. I mean, for pretty much most of the courses, unless the class courses are filled, you do have a choice to switch to a different class. You can do it yourself. And like I said, until 2 weeks after the classes begin, parents should be able to switch it by themselves. If you do want to cancel it, we don't encourage it because it's a lot of effort for us and we don't have a mechanism to maintain credits. So we do want you to register carefully before to make sure you don't have conflict. Suchitra?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Suchitra.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if the child needs to know multiplication and division before attending these classes.
Junior.
Well, it depends on the level he's joining, right? If you are joining MB1, let's say, which is for first and second graders, we do
Yeah.
teach addition, subtraction, multiplications in those levels. When
Oh,
you get to MB2, we do expect kids know some of the multiplication, maybe at least single digit or maybe double digit
yeah.
multiplications. We do expect at the MB3 level, we do expect kids already know those
Okay.
multiplications.
Yeah,
So
he's joining MB1.
you can look at the syllabus. You can look at the syllabus posted there. We give you for each of the levels what the syllabus is.
Okay, and the mode of submission of the homeworks will be online, or how is it actually? This is the first time he's getting into.
So it's kind of math and SAT are the only two places where we do allow submission for the homework online. In math, I think it's a little bit tricky because of the type of questions we have for, like, especially at the MB1 level, where there are pictures and things like that that the kids are patterns to recognize and identify, or draw pictures, right? So it kind of becomes difficult to do online submission. What we do is we provide, after the deadline, we do provide solutions or answer sheets so that the parents can grade it themselves.
Okay.
But when you get to the higher level, we do submit, we do ask the students to submit online, and it gets automatically graded.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you walk me through the steps a student will log in to attend the session each week? Will he should get an email prompted to join class before 15 minutes? So once you register, we will, for the registered student, we are going to conduct a different orientation later on after the registrations close. So we'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to join a class. So this is a good question. I understand the spelling sessions are 8 weeks long, but your scheduling goes through February 2022. So that's a schedule overall. Think of it as a semester schedule for all the courses combined. Like I said, some courses are 8 weeks, some are 10, and some are 16 weeks. So if a course is like spelling is 8 weeks, at the end of 8 weeks, your course will end. Okay. Whereas people are taking SAT 16 weeks, they'll continue to go on to week 9, week 10, and so on. All right, any other questions? If not, we can close the session, and thank you for attending this. If you still have any questions, feel free to send email to coaching@northsouth.org.
Yeah, looks like we found one vocabulary code, so hopefully seats will open up inside information for people that still stayed on the call. So please look for that. Thank you.
I bet by tomorrow morning its class gets filled up. Yeah, unfortunately, some of the classes are very popular and they do get filled up very quickly. So don't hesitate, don't delay, try to register as soon as you can. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Narayana. Thank you, Mahati.